Hi everyone, Nico here, and Adobe just released some major updates to their software lineup, especially Photoshop. They added a new sky replacement feature and a lot more features, but in this video I'll be talking about the sky replacement. And yeah, to keep it short, let's jump straight into Photoshop and replace some skies. Here we go. In the video description there will be a link including all the files that I'm using in this video. So open one of the photos, and from here what I usually do is make a duplicate of the background layer. To do that, just click Ctrl or Command J. From here you can easily go to Edit, and down here you find the new sky replacement. And Photoshop itself is going to do a great job just on its own. As you can see, we created a way more interesting and more moody photo, and right here you find a selection: first blue skies and then spectacular and sunset. And I already imported two of my photos. So for example, this is one of my photos taken from a different photo. But what you should be aware of is if you have a photo with strong shadows, for example, when you took a photo in the evening, like when the sun was very low, then you should be looking for those kind of skies, because otherwise it will look unnatural. This time it's a pretty soft light because it was pretty overcast, so it shouldn't be a problem to use a background like this. But if I, for example, go ahead and use this guy, this just looks unreal. This might also work, but there's pretty much no shadow coming this way down here, so be careful with the skies that you choose for these replacements. Yeah, let's take this one. Then right here you have a lot more options. For example, you can lower the temperature of the sky to make it slightly more purple, or depending on the sky that you chose, just make it warmer to fit the image more. You can also adjust the brightness of the sky. You need to be careful because these skies are usually JPEGs, and if they are burned out like this sky in the center, it's going to be quite boring and will look distorted. So I will try to match my brightness kind of to the image. Yeah, just leave it at 0. And depending on the horizon, you might need to shift the edges just a little bit. Another option, depending on the shadows you have in your photo, is the flip, where you can just go ahead and flip the sky. So if you have a photo that has shadows in one direction, but the sky that you want to use, the sun is coming from the other direction, just go ahead, flip it, and you're good to go. Down here you have, it usually is close like this, but in the foreground adjustments you will find the lighting mode. For me, I found that multiply is a bit nice because it keeps a more contrasty edge. But if you have, for example, mountains in the very far, there's usually some sort of UV haze. For that you could just select the screen mode, so the edges are kind of faded. And then also you can go ahead and do lighting adjustments, which basically changes the lighting of the foreground so it matches the sky a bit better. And in some cases the color adjustment does a lot. For this photo, for example, it does quite a bit, but for others there are rarely any changes, especially when the sky does match the color of the original image quite well. One of the best things about this is that it is completely non-destructive, because you can down here select new layers and Photoshop will automatically create the layers with the sky and adding a layer mask, so it perfectly maps out the sky to your original image. So let's click OK, and now we can go ahead and zoom in and check some of the edges, and I got to admit I'm pretty impressed by what Photoshop did automatically. So as I just told you, the great part about this is that the changes that you do right here are completely non-destructive. So you can just go back in right here, for example, on the sky temperature, and completely change it, take out the magenta, for example, or add some more cyan and some more blue, so you get a rather purplish sky. And down here you will find a curves adjustments layer for the foreground, and basically you can undo everything or basically create your own kind of style right here. If you want to lift the shadows, for example, a bit. To show you how to do this on a different photo, I will just quickly open another one. Let's take this one. That's just a photo of Long at Neast Point in Scotland. So again, create a copy of the layer by Command or Control and J. Then go into sky replacement, and as I told you, you can always go ahead and use your own skies, right, by clicking down here on the plus icon, and there you can simply create a new sky. For example, let's take this one, give it a different name, or just leave it at the file name, or you can basically just scroll through. You can even take a rainbow if you like to, but I will stick to this one. I will probably make it a bit darker and do some subtle color changes to it. So the light is coming that direction, so it works for this photo. But if you look a bit closer around here, you can still see some of the older clouds just in this area here. So to get rid of those, just play around with the shift edges and you will see that they're mostly disappearing just as easy as this. So yeah, and right here you will see the sky brightness has a different layer, and what you could do is maybe add some more contrast to the sky, or for example go ahead, add another curves layer. Right here you could either click on this little icon to make it a clipped layer mask, or you hold down Alt or Option and click right between the two layers. So for example, if I want to make this sky a lot more contrasty and more interesting, I could do a simple S-curve to bring out some of the darks and some of the highlights in this picture. So this is the before and the after of the photo, and having a quick look at the other photo that we edited. Photoshop made it very simple to get very interesting and dramatic photos just by including this sky replacement feature. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about trying this out, and I might even create a little sky bundle so all of you can go ahead, use my skies. And yeah, so looking forward to seeing all of your photos that you created using this kind of technique. Alright, that is sky replacement in the new 2021 Photoshop version, and I will also be making videos on the neural filters and basically anything you'd like to know. There will also be a video coming up about the new color grading, which was in the former versions of Lightroom, the split toning. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!